So I wanted to show you guys something tonight. We're just out pulling a couple weeds tonight. And a lot of times what we do with those, we throw them in our chicken coop run and we throw them in our pig pen and they just disappear. However, there is one weed that does not ever seem to disappear when we throw it in our chicken coop run. And we really noticed a big difference last year with our pigs, and that's Canadian thistle. So we're gonna go out, I'm gonna pull some thistle out of our chicken coop run here and just watch what these guys do to this stuff. So I know I've talked about this in the past and how we plant our garden. We space our rows out wide enough we can run a tiller up and down. Then we just go along the edge of the crops and we just pick out the needed weeds, and the tiller takes care of the rest of it. However, the one weed that we will not till in is Canadian thistle. And you gotta be really careful when you pull this, try to get the entire root, because what otherwise ends up happening is that thing comes back up. And if you run a tiller in there and it splits it up into multiple pieces, well, now you're gonna end up with multiple thistle plants. So it's really important to go in and pull this one particular weed by hand. And like I mentioned, we're just gonna throw it in our pig pen here. What we have also done in the past is just throw it in our fire pit. That way, if it does end up growing and not dying out from sitting in the sun, we can always just have a little bonfire one night and get rid of it that way. So one of my favorite pairs of gloves is Carhartt gloves. You can find them at a pretty decent price, usually around $7. They seem to hold up the best. They're the best lasting pair of gloves I have found, mostly particularly dealing with firewood. And when I go out and pull the Canadian thistle, sometimes you get poked just a little bit. So what I actually end up doing is I just put on a pair of my winter Carhartt gloves, which have the insulation, the Thinsulate or whatever, and adds just a little extra cushion in there, and you don't feel the thistles at all. So that's how we deal with thistle. Either our fire pit, just burn it up, or the pig pens. We ended up throwing them in the pig pens last year. The only thing that has come up, besides the stuff that we actually planted this year, was some volunteer tomato plants. Otherwise, everything else that we threw in there has pretty much gone away. And I know at the beginning of the season when we were tilling up our garden, some of you guys thought we were first time tilling the area, and that was our part of our garden last year as well. So it's just kind of the nature of the beast living out here with the open fields. It doesn't take a whole lot for those seeds to spread and fill things in. And a tiller is kind of the way that we try to manage our weeds, I guess, in some ways. So, and Canadian thistle is one of those nasty things that I just hate dealing with. Getting a good pair of gloves and having some pigs can definitely make a big difference. Doesn't seem like the chickens deal with it. I have heard some people say that their pigs don't really care for it. Last year, the Yorkshires that we had really love it. These are supposed to be Durocs, so that's what we were told. We've noticed, and also some of you guys have mentioned that they didn't quite seem like Durocs. We're kind of thinking they're a mixed breed of some sort, but so far they've been fantastic pigs. So I figure I better say this because I know someone's going to. Back to eating stuff. We do have it in the very front of this garden. We got some chips last year, but a lot of those have broken down. We've been having a hard time maintaining that. I have a small chipper, a 6-horse chipper that I pretty much run a lot of brush through. Actually was just down the other day, starting to clean up a box elder tree that went down in a big heavy storm that we had come through here. But it's like washing a gymnasium floor with a toothbrush. It's just a slow moving process and probably not the most ideal thing. I have also put ads out on Craigslist. There's chipdrop.org.com. I don't know. I'll put a link in the description below. Hopefully it can work for you guys. I know some people have had success. Haven't got anything from that. I've sent emails off to any tree service within 30-mile radius. We just have a heck of a time getting tree services to drop any sort of chips off out here. Mostly because a lot of the trees that people do hire to have taken down is just a single tree or something by an outbuilding. And then all the windrow stuff is generally taken care of by people like me that just cutting up some firewood or something like that. So there's just not a lot of work to happen in the area. We have been looking at one place that we found that will come out and deliver a semi-load, I think about $200. Our garden is just a little under 10,000 square feet, I believe it is. That's not including the 512 square feet for the pig pen, so that's a lot of chips to be able to get that, but we'd like to do that. The other thing we've been looking at a little bit is hay or straw. Straw is something that's not done a ton out here, mostly when people do oats. But definitely something that we want to. It's just it's hard to kind of get some of that going and be able to maintain it and sustain it. So anyways, I figured I'd better touch on that because I know someone has some comments. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.